Good evening, Tallahassee, and happy Friday. I said Thursday.
It's Friday. I can't believe it's Friday. We're at the end of the week, and it's the start of a President's Day weekend. Unfortunately for us, we don't have off from school, but for you folks at home might be watching, you might have Monday off. So.
And it's going to be a beautiful weekend as well.
Definitely. It's feeling much warmer than usual, but for you spring and summer lovers, this is your season. We're getting a break from the winter. Still not ruling out a chance of cold air. I remember last year it got cold in March. Remember being outside with my jacket.
Yeah, but it's going to start feeling like spring again here in Tallahassee, and pretty much the majority of the South too.
Yeah, good thing though we've seen throughout this week is improvements in our drought situation. With a lot of rain that's come through, we've seen less. We've actually moved out of a drought and into normally dry conditions, which is good for us here.
And we have maybe some rain chances later in the week, but we'll get to that later into the show.
Right.
But this weekend will be beautiful, rain-free.
Yeah, I mean, there's still 20% chance of rain. Nothing too severe, so we're not going to see a widespread outbreak of rain. So it's not going to be too bad. But it's going to be, if there is something, it's good for the crops.
Yes,
farmers
definitely.
Out there.
And we have those highs in the high 70s and low 80s. I know I went to the pool today, and you're probably going to expect to see me there the next few days as well.
Hey, I didn't even consider the pool. That's actually a good suggestion. I might head out to the pool later.
Come to my pool.
I'll come to your pool. We'll have a pool party at Sammy's place.
Sounds good. But for now, we are going to take it back out with Sarah at the wall.
Thanks, guys. Yes, going to a pool might be a great idea, especially with these high temperatures we've been having today, and also for upcoming in this week as well. It started out a bit gloomy, but today's high temps are in the 80s at 83 in Tallahassee, Quincy at 84. So basically, my dress matches these warmer temperatures that we're having today. And satellite radar, we do have a cold front coming through right here, but it's not really going to give us much rain more than the cloud cover. So not really much there, unfortunately, since if you like the cold, you're not really going to see it that much. And tonight's forecast, it's going to be 58 degrees, so a little bit on the warmer side, but a nice time if you want to go outside and, you know, enjoy the stars and stuff like that. It's going to be above average as always. As you're going to see, these temperatures are going to be above average as we're going to go later on in the show and talk about more of these temperatures. But it will be a foggy morning like it was yesterday and the day before yesterday, so please be careful as you go out onto the roads tomorrow and be prepared for those foggy conditions. And for tonight at 11, you're going to see spring-like warmth persists. I mean, the groundhog was not really right about these for winter. We're seeing summer temperatures. We're going to get more cloud coverage, unfortunately, and some slight rain showers in the midweek, so we'll see about that. And I'm going to send it off to the lab with.
Thanks, Sarah. Here in the lab, we're talking about the trivia question. The trivia question that we showed last night is, when was the last time Tallahassee saw a temperature above 80 degrees? So we were talking about all that warmth that we've been seeing here in Tallahassee. Here's a question about it. Did we last see those 80-degree temperatures late October, early November, mid-December, or even sometime in January? Well, now's the time that we unveil that answer. So, if you remember last time that it was 80 degrees and answered on trivia, on our Twitter trivia with November 8th last night or sometime today, you were correct. The last time Tallahassee got up to 80 degrees was November the 8th. We have gotten close there a couple times, but we have not actually reached that 80-degree mark since November. So since the middle of fall, now we're starting to get into an early spring right now. So with that early spring, we're seeing those temperatures get back up to 80 degrees. It's getting warm again for those of you who love spring and summer. It's coming. And we're going to send things back out to the wall now with Sammy to get a look at what temperatures have been like around the rest of the Big Bend area. Sammy?
All right, thanks, Margaret. So actually this morning, our cool temperatures stuck around 60, 61 degrees around your Tallahassee, Big Bend region, which is actually fairly warm. That is well above the average. But our current conditions, like you were talking about, 80 degrees. It is partly cloudy out, but it makes a beautiful rest of your Friday evening. But we have kind of a light wind, making it feel pretty nice outside. So the majority of the wind is coming from the west. We have 9 miles per hour over in Tallahassee, 7 miles per hour in Wilma, and a little bit less in the coast around Carabel, Apalachicola. They're around 5, 7 miles per hour. So they have just a light wind coming from the Gulf. but that dew point is bringing temperatures to feel nice and warm outside. If you were outside today, you start to feel a little sticky, and that is with those warmer temperatures as well. But the satellite and radar is showing this front that passed through above us, not quite towards us yet. We did receive a little bit of cloud coverage due to that, but there is a high pressure system that is over our area. So tonight's forecast, much like last night and into this morning, 58 degrees out, staying right above average, and it will be a foggy morning. But into tomorrow, you are going to see temperatures around 78 degrees, much like today, another warm day. And spring is coming, but expect some clouds coming through the area throughout tomorrow. And your 5-day, we are seeing pretty much some cloudy conditions persisting throughout the majority of the week. But look at these temperatures, 78, 79, it just keeps getting warmer all the way into the 80s for that 20% chance of rain into Tuesday, into Wednesday. And those lows are right around high 50s and low 60s, making it feel very nice out for the majority of the nights. But hey, you may need a jacket outside if you are going outside anytime soon. But for now, we are going to take it out with Sarah with the Southeast.
Sweet, thanks, Sammy. So right now, current conditions around the southeast area are a bit on the warmer side. Tallahassee at 80, Orlando at 80, but we do see some colder temperatures. There is some hope for some of the southeast region with these cooler temperatures. Tupelo at 51, Little Rock at 47, but unfortunately for the southern southeast region, we're a bit warmer, so it's going to feel like summertime right now in the southeast area, except for up here with that cold front. And as for that cold front, you can see some of that rain shower over here, kind of in the West Virginia, Kentucky area, but really it's not going to really do much for our area. It's mostly just going to bring that dreadful cloud cover which we were having earlier on a week on Monday and Tuesday, which made it a bit gloomy out, unfortunately, and also keeping those temperatures at a bit warmer for the rest of the week. We're not really going to see those cold temperatures anymore. Florida's like, nah, we don't want to participate in the 6 weeks of winter anymore. We're like, no, we want to go into summer. These current winds right now are pretty breezy right now. Orlando at 12, Tallahassee at 9. You can kind of see that low pressure over here. You can see that counterclockwise motion and a little bit of that high pressure still sort of sitting out here in that clockwise motion over there. So you can see where we're going to have some of that convergence there. Some chance of some rains, but not really, as you saw in the forecast, the 5-day forecast, there was some chance of some rains, but mostly cloud cover really, but we'll keep you up to date on that. Current dew points are pretty moderate, 56 in Tallahassee, Montgomery at 63. You can see that cold front sitting there by Little Rock as their dry temperatures, but right now we're really muggy out. We're kind of swimming through the air. My hair was getting really staticky and frizzy, so it's kind of uncomfortable, but it's not too bad for the springtime area. Our 24-hour dew point pretty much showing now. You can see that dryness over here and a little bit of that moistness over here in the southeast region and the southern southeast region. So you can see that difference right there. For tonight's forecast, it's going to be pretty nice outside. It's going to be a little bit warmer than it has been in the past, but Orlando at 65, Tallahassee at 57, Atlanta at 52, and we're seeing some colder temperatures kind of over there, but not really. It's pretty nice temperatures. I feel like 40s are pretty nice compared to our warmer temperatures that we've been having here in Florida. And for tomorrow's forecast, it's pretty warm throughout the region, as I said. 81 in Tallahassee, 85 in Orlando. Luckily for Orlando, they're seeing sun. We're not really seeing some sun. It's partly cloudy, so we might, hopefully, that will probably bring the temperatures a little bit, but it's still warm. Other areas like Atlanta, getting some rain at 66, but from that cold front, so it's a little bit, but it's nice temperatures. Lucky for them, they have those nice temperatures, but Florida is still kind of like, nah, we're going to participate in the summer. And for Sunday's forecast, if you're going to go out to church or do any other activities for your weekend, and upcoming to your President's Day, it's going to be warm again. It's going to continue to be warm. Warm, warm, warm. That's what we're going to be saying a lot in this show. 84 in Tallahassee, Orlando at 84, and Montgomery at 70. You're seeing that poor cloud cover, but seeing some sunshine. Florida's doing that sunshine state, so it's really nice outside. So I'm going to send it back over to Margaret in the lab.
Thanks, Sarah. Now, I want to play a little bit of audience interaction here. take a look at this picture. This guy is walking through the fog. So take a guess what we're talking about in this segment. And it's got to do with the fact that we've got these warm dew point temperatures and that we're still cooling off to relatively late winter, early spring sort of temperatures. We are talking about fog. So to start off, let's define what fog is. Fog occurs when the water becomes saturated, which means either enough water vapor is added to the air or the temperature of the air cools down enough, like it does overnight, that the air becomes saturated and you can't get any more water vapor to evaporate at that temperature, and so the water begins to condense. And when this happens at the ground, then we have fog. When it happens up at airplane levels, that's when you get cloud formation. So clouds and fog form through the exact same processes, just at different heights. The clouds form down here at the fog down at ground level, and the clouds up here where the airplanes are. So fog forms, as I was saying, when the air cools off to what we call the dew point temperature, which you can actually do with just a glass of cold water at home. If you take a glass of ice water, the dew point is when the air around that glass has cooled off enough because the ice in there is cooling the air. So fog formation also really needs calm winds, because when you get all this wind, then you could have warm air mixing with cooler air, and the fog just can't form quite so easily when you've got all those windy conditions there. So if you're going driving early tomorrow morning, we do have a good chance for some fog forming in certain areas, particularly low-lying areas. Be careful when you're driving. Light doesn't travel the same way through fog as it does through the air. Think about how clouds block the sun. So that you can see, use your low beam headlights so you can see the road, and drive slowly and give yourself some extra travel time. So be safe out there driving in the fog. We're going to send things out for a national look at things with Sammy now.
Thank you, Margaret. So we are looking at the colorful United States, and Tallahassee is our warm spot of 80 degrees. We are warmer than Miami, which is crazy to think, but we have temperatures going up throughout the United States, going around 67 in Atlanta, just a little bit cooler than us, 46 over in Memphis, so they are feeling very chilly. That's due to that cold front passing through that area right now, and all the way up to the majority of the United States of the north. We are sitting around 30 degrees in Billings, Montana. Salt Lake City, you're sitting around 45 degrees. So they are feeling some blustier conditions along with Seattle with rain, and that is another front that will maybe reach us later in the week, but we're seeing all these different temperatures with a few fronts coming throughout the United States. So here's one. We have this front passing through, not quite reaching Florida. We have a little bit of cloud coverage making its way through, but the majority of that rain is bringing some flood watches and warnings throughout that area. But if we're looking at the Pacific Northwest, this is our other front that will be making its way through, and these are some wintry conditions passing through the area of the Pacific Northwest. So that'll make its way through the majority of the U.S. later in the week. But around our area, you could see some of these flood warnings and even some flood watches over near the southern portions of Ohio into a majority of West Virginia. And we have these gale watches and warnings over on the eastern Atlantic Ocean. And for your Pacific Northwest, you can see all these conditions of this winter storm passing through that area. So the light blue is that freeze watch. And Wyoming is also experiencing the high winds and even some blizzard warnings throughout that whole area, and that is due to that cold front passing through. So we have rainfall, quite a bit of rainfall passing through the majority of the Northeast, with our bullseye near Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania around 2.9 inches. That's a lot of rain. And it accumulates throughout the majority of the Northeast, 0.32 in New York, so that's a little bit over a quarter of an inch and we have 1.1 in Harrisburg. So tonight's forecast, though, we are going to get into 57 for Tallahassee, making its way through the cold temperatures of the United States, all the way up to 17 over in Billings. And tomorrow's forecast, quite a rainbow of temperatures, 81 for Tallahassee and 30 for your Minneapolis.
Hey, Sammy, let's look around the local area where it's not feeling like winter, even though it is the winter season. Something we don't usually see in the February months. It is February. We saw a heat index today. Look at these temperatures. This is not indicative of what a winter would be like, but this is a winter for Florida. So we're not seeing great temperature conditions, but sky conditions are variable. Not seeing as much clouds as we saw yesterday. Moisture has been pooling in to our local area, but it's burning out with the sun, so we're going to see clouds disappear into tonight, but they're going to come back as that moisture starts to pool back in. Look at those dew points. Not a single gray or yellow or brown spot. It's all green, all that moisture throughout the entire tri-state area. So it's not looking any bad, but it's not high moisture. It just feels bad because it's just more moisture than we're used to. It's feeling a lot more muggier than we're seeing, but nothing too crazy. We're not feeling, you're not sweating to death. You're only just sweating a little bit. So be careful with that. We did see some showers off the coast of Panama City, but nothing getting into the Big Bend region. So skies were definitely clear. Winds, these were out of the south yesterday. Now they're out of the west as this front starts to make its way through to our area. Not going to push through, luckily, but you're going to start seeing these moisture values not increase as much as you're not pulling in as much moisture from the coast. But places like Panama City and Apalachicola are going to see a little bit more moisture than these central landlocked areas than they are yesterday because the southern winds aren't really bringing in that moisture. Hey, if you got nothing to do this weekend, we have some events for you. We got baseball. Baseball is playing Xavier. They had their opening game against them today at 4 o'clock. So they're playing again tomorrow on Saturday and Sunday at 1 p.m. respectively, both against Xavier as well. Seeing similar conditions between Saturday and Sunday. The only noticeable difference is this cloud cover picks up from Saturday to Sunday. And Sunday at 6 p.m. if you want to do a double sports day, you got basketball. Men's basketball playing Pitt. Going to be a great game. I'm actually going, so it'll be fun. 74 degrees. A little less clouds than earlier in the day, so not too bad, but no rain chances for that. And as we go into tonight, we're staying above average, seeing relatively high 50s and breaking a slight 60 in Apalachicola, but it's still going to be warmer than we're used to this time of year. And into tomorrow, we're going to see spring-like temperatures. 70s, luckily, we're not going to get as hot as we did today into the 80s. We did crack 83 here in Tallahassee, but I don't see a single 80 there, and it is going to be cooler on the coast with 71, 72, and 73 in Appalachia, Carabel, and St. Mark's. Not feeling too bad, and as we go into the 7-day forecast, here's the thing, we're not going to see any of relief into this winter-like temperatures. Those people who like winter temperatures, not going to see it this week, but we do have the chance later on as we go into the month. Winter's not over, guys. We still have that possibility. 78 and 79 and back into the 80s for the rest of the work week. Nothing too bad, but we do see rain chances with this next approaching front into Tuesday and Wednesday. But now I'm going to send it over to the desk with Sarah and Sammy.
Thank you, Dylan. So, yeah, we have wonderful weather for the next few games coming this weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
Baseball, so we have baseball right now, Saturday and Sunday, and even the men's basketball game on Sunday as well.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to kind of escape these hot temperatures, if you're a theater nut as well, FSU is putting on the Addams Family, so if you want to go see that, do that as well if you want to escape the heat.
We also have other events around Tallahassee, including Mardi Gras. So I think it's a play on words of Mardi Gras, and that's at Railroad Square, and that takes place tomorrow from 2 p.m. all the way until 11:30 p.m.
Yeah, so take advantage of that. And also, if you kind of want to go out of Tallahassee area, if you're getting tired of the city life, you can go to Thomasville. They're having a sidewalk sale, so if you want to escape the city life, escape kind of the worries of school and homework, going to Thomasville. I love Thomasville. It's really pretty
Beautiful.
over there. Yeah,
I love
definitely.
that area. It's a small town feel, and it's
definitely.
other than Tallahassee. But if you don't have a car, we have the International Bazaar, and that's hosted by FSU-sponsored Global Engagement, and that's at the Union Ballrooms.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah,
Definitely
I mean,
go check it out.
They
if you
have
have nothing planned, do it.
Yeah, exactly. They have free food samples, and they even have performances.
That's where you're going to get people, free food. So there's free food, folks, so go and support.
That's where you get me too. But there's also a series of club events too. I know the boys lacrosse club will take place on Sunday at 12 p.m. But for now, we are going to send it back with Dylan at around Florida.
If you want to see around Florida, well, I've got around Florida for you, and we're seeing pretty similar conditions throughout the state, though we do have 2 hotspots in Orlando and Tallahassee. And for you folks down in South Florida, it's actually feeling cooler there than it is here up in North Florida with Tallahassee at 80 degrees. This is not what you think in summer. This is not February-like temperatures. We're mid-February. It is February 16th. Spring starts in March 21st, but we're still two months basically away from that, actually a month away from that. So we're not seeing any of those fall-like or winter-like temperatures. We're seeing more like spring and summer, so things aren't great. Current winds, though, these have shifted, as I mentioned before. You are still seeing some water coming off, or some winds coming off the Gulf in Tampa and Fort Myers. So you're going to see a little more moisture there, and a little more lower-level clouds that are due to this moisture coming in and rising up into the land areas there. But thankfully for us here in North Florida, we got Pensacola, Tallahassee, and Jacksonville coming mostly out of the westward, so nothing too crazy for that. As we go into the satellite and radar, the only thing of note are these stray showers off the coast of Panama City, Florida, but nothing throughout the rest of the state, so staying relatively clear. We only had a little bit of cloud cover throughout today, nothing too severe, not some overcast days like we saw before this clearing out of the rain. And we do see something in the upper levels down in South Florida, which is giving less cloud cover, is dry air. Dry air is dominating the southern part of the state in the upper levels, so we're not seeing as much clouds. They're really not seeing many clouds there. Current dew points moist across the state, all this green indicating those high dew points. And as we go into something relative humidity, this is something you don't really talk about so much, but this plays into what I'm going to show you next, the heat index. With these high relative humidities, you get these heat index, hot temperatures, high relative humidity. You get something you don't usually see in Florida. These are in February in Florida, heat indexes. You're getting into the 70s, the 80s, just warm temperatures throughout the state. That's the big story. We do have some watches and warnings. You have some flood warnings over by Pensacola and some rivers, but you have some offshore dense fogs. We talked about that yesterday on the show on a desk, so if you want to learn more about that, tune into yesterday's show. And as we get into tonight, you're seeing cooler temperatures. You might need a jacket compared to the day. You're going to be in the 70s and the 80s today, but you're going to need a jacket if you're in Florida, or sorry, in Tallahassee and Jacksonville, as you're getting down into the 50s once again. But for the rest of the state, you're only getting down to 69 in Miami, so nothing too crazy there. We're not seeing these winter temperatures, and look at how red this state is for tomorrow. It's all 80s. There's not a single 70 on this. The forecast for tomorrow is all 80s throughout the state. We should call it the 80s state. We do see some more sunshines, though, than we did see today. So you get some sunshines in the central part and a little bit of clouds down in the southern part. But hey, if you want to know more about Tallahassee, Sarah Converse is actually going to look in on that.
Thanks, Dylan. So at midnight, we started off a bit cooler at 60, but still a bit warmer for the cool of that evening. But as we got up through the later of the day, it did warm up pretty hot, of 83 of that high. So it was really warm today. I was wearing jeans in the morning. It was really nice and cool. But then by the time that afternoon, I was like, I was like, these jeans have to go away. I got to put these shorts back on. And as you can see, these temperatures, they're above average. 83 for the high today and 60 for that low. Compared to 68 and 42, we are really above average. It is really warmer out today. And the record, oh, I'm glad it was never 24. Glad it's not that. And our current winds, basically, it's a bit breezy around the Tallahassee area. Tallahassee at 9 miles per hour, St. Mark's at 6. You can kind of see that counterclockwise motion of that low pressure that's sitting up there in the northern southeast region. And pretty breezy, but pretty nice wind chances all around. And as I said, that cold front sitting over there, it's not really going to do much for our area. It's really going to bring cloud cover, the dreaded cloud cover that we've been seeing for previous in this week. So not really that much chance of rain. You see a little bit of some scattered showers off the coast there, but it's not really going to do much for us. And as you can see with this cold front coming through, it's going to come sit over Alabama and Georgia, and that low pressure sitting there, and we're still, look at this, the dreadful word warm. We're sitting in that warm area right now. And as we go on, the cold front's going to move through our area, but it's not really going to do much with these temperatures. Really, we're still going to be staying in that warm temperatures of that summer heat that we're going to be seeing for the rest of the week. And for tonight, we're going to be at 58 degrees, so it's a little bit warmer than average. As you said, staying above average. It's going to be a bit cloudy, though, so not really a good night if you want to go out and go stargazing. It will be foggy tomorrow morning, so be prepared if you go out to the roads for that. And also for tomorrow's forecast, again, another warm day. Won't be as warm as it was today at 78, but still pretty warm. Unfortunately, we will not really see the sun come out. So, but spring is coming. Even though that groundhog said 6 more weeks of winter, Florida's like, no, not going to participate. So basically, as you can see for the extended week ahead, typical Florida of these warm temperatures. 78 on Saturday, 81 throughout the rest of the week, and basically all this cloud cover too, which is a little bit gloomy, but basically these temperatures are warm, so if you love the warm, you don't like the cold, this week is for you. So pretty much nice all around, and even these colder temperatures are nice as well in the 60s and 50s. I'm like, wow, these are really, really nice temperatures that we're going to be having as well. What do you think, Sammy, about that?
I think I'm heading back to the pool. I love it warm here. I mean, that's why I go here, because of the warmth. But some people don't like it as warm. I know you're not crazy about the warm temperatures.
I am. My hair is not, though, with the humidity and everything. My hair's like, nah, we don't want to deal with the warm. But it's not too bad. I wish it was a little bit colder, maybe in the mid-70s, lower 70s. But hey, I'm not complaining.
I mean, for the weekend, though, it will be a nice weekend to get outdoors. I mean,
definitely.
With the clouds, you can sit outside and not even get, as much sun.
But definitely be prepared for that heat, though, so make sure you stay hydrated. If you do go out, if you go running or any kind of exercise, make sure you stay hydrated with these temperatures as well.
But the mornings are going to be very nice. If you do want to maybe go outside, go running,
definitely.
go biking, it's 78 into the low 60s. So it will make a beautiful morning.
Yeah, so probably won't need your winter clothes for the rest of this week, so probably stick with the shorts. It may still a little bit chilly in the morning, but once you get to that afternoon, you're going to be sweating by the time you go to class on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So, yeah.
But make sure you follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU Weather.
Yes, and follow us also on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And like us there, too. But make sure you're watching us live. www.youtube.com/FSU Weather.
And follow us on Instagram.
But, I mean, we post all of our Twitter there, all of our trivia, which is what I meant to say, on Twitter, of course. But you can watch us anywhere on, we post videos on Twitter, on Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah, so enjoy these temperatures. It will be a bit hot, but, it's pretty nice, though. I'm student meteorologist Sammy Squires. And I'm student meteorologist Sarah Converse. Have a great night.